We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Hi everybody, how are you? Hi Mario, hi Princess, hi Syria.
Hey.
Yeah, welcome to the wonderful Saturday. So let's start our questions.
Perfect. For our first featured question of the day, it comes from Maya Gold from Facebook. She asks, in the press category, do you list articles chronologically or group all articles from the same publication together?
Okay, that's a nice question actually, and a very fundamental and elementary question that is coming up. There is obviously no regulatory criteria or way to kind of present this, but I would love to present this actually from the latest to the old articles, or it could be the other way also. Because by virtue of doing this, I'm the reason being that I'm able to show my sustained acclaim also. So that would be one of the ways in which I would take an opportunity to present my entire package. And when you talk about press category, essentially I think you mean about a media category, media about you, media by you. So I think I would love to put it chronologically in a order which is the latest one comes first, and the old articles would go back. Or it could be the other way around also. So basically, it also tries to communicate what are you conveying, or it could potentially be also very in certain cases. Let's say, for example, you know, we have had a student actually whose publication was kind of cited in nature.com, which is one of the leading publication and in actual nature. So in that case, I would like to make it to present that article first. So if there has been some kind of a good commentary or something on the article, I would not like to get too lost into some abyss and labyrinth of the documentation. So I would like to put that first also actually. So it all depends on how you are presenting and how do you want to talk about your story and your narrative. But fundamentally, I think what I said should hold true actually for you. So I hope that answers the question. So let's move to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. Our next question is from an anonymous user. They asked, what are the most common weaknesses in EB1A petitions you've seen, and how can I proactively address them in my profile?
Oh, wonderful. Now, this is something very, very, very deep question. Actually, it may sound innocently very simple. That what are the most common weaknesses in the petition? So there are at three levels. I can say there are weaknesses. Number one is in your profile itself. You may think sometimes it happens that there is a one particular kind of an initiative which is gotten accepted, and there is another one, the same one by the same other person does not get accepted. Let's say for example British BCS membership. Now for one person, for Mario it may get accepted, for Syria it may not get accepted. Why does it happen? Actually it is because of essentially for multiple reasons. It's fundamentally people don't connect any initiative to their expertise, so that's the first and foremost reason. Number two is they aren't they don't give proper evidences in terms of why you got the membership, how you got the membership, who were the judges. So basically I would like to have a key for this, that just try to answer the question for every piece of document and every piece of evidence that you're giving in terms of how, why, when, where, how. So again, I would like to repeat that what is the purpose, what is the initiative, what is the main thing, but that how that kind of what, when, where, how. So these are the things that you have to answer in a very specific and in granular manner. So you need to have a thinking pattern of that particular order. If you are able to do that, then it will be helpful for you. Otherwise, we have seen people just trying to uh, give multiple kind of things at the same time, and it doesn't work then in that case. Okay, so second thing I would say that not connecting it to the expertise. Number three is that when you give your evidences, it has to be in a particular order, in a sense that don't give a good printout on a good quality paper. I mean, these are, I mean, one can go endlessly on and on and on actually, which surprisingly, I have seen that people who do mostly self-filing without an attorney, that they're committing this kind of mistakes. Your operational level skills have to be of an optimum order when it comes to EB1A. We have filed a couple of petitions recently, and number of pages definitely go up very high. So I would say that, these are like, one can go on and on. There is no checklist per se, as you can see, but these are the common traits what I have seen. So you have to follow the instructions on the USCIS website in terms of maintaining the the how, for example, the binder clip should not be there, it should not be stapled, don't try to laminate any paper. So these are some of small things people definitely USCIS. So understand uh, what and how USCIS is requiring those documents from you. If you are not able to do that, you will just, I mean, kind of, either the package will come back or USCIS will not be able to read your documents. So these are some of the things I would say then. So let's go beyond. Next question.
Okay, so the next question is, what are the best ways to demonstrate my leadership in the field beyond my current job description? And his current job description is business administration.
Wonderful. I think it's a more question coming from a profile building perspective. So, there is an infinite way. So beyond your, you see, remember EB1A you don't get because you got, you, like for example, you fulfill the criterias. And definitely this is a good question actually, because this is not really applicable in the field for business administration. This is for everything actually. The question here that would come is that you get EB1A for three reasons essentially. Number one is that, are you an expert? Now the question is that you cannot demonstrate your expertise only within the realms of your organization. You need to demonstrate expertise much beyond that. So, for example, what has been your contribution to the field? Have you written any papers? In that case, so let us say, for example, have you been a reviewer to any paper? What kind of memberships do you hold? What is the worthiness of your expertise? Okay, so have been into coaching, mentoring? Have you done any speeches, public? Have you submitted any papers? Have you won any awards? These are the things that would matter, which is beyond the organization. Even in your organization, what has been your scope of authority? What is the skill sets that you have? Fundamentally, I always like to ask one question to each and every student of mine. For example, it's not about you here actually. You get EB1A for. You get EB1A because of your impact of your work. For that matter, I mean, just to go more from a very practical and very spiritual perspective, I mean, just ask yourself a question that if you weren't even born, what impact would be the world missing without you? I mean, these are something. What has been the impact of your work because you were born and you worked on your expertise? When you look at some people, let's say truly extraordinary. I mean, we are not talking of somebody, I mean, very big or super, whose work has transcended centuries. But let us say, for example, even when we look at some business experts, some doctors who would have got EB1A, some engineers, some product managers, their work remains, even if they may not remain in the organizations or they within their jobs or even after they are gone. Now, what is it unique about you? Is there something that can be sustained? Now, that is the reason for sustained actually. That your work remains, but even if you may not remain. So that's the thing. Actually, this is something. It is not something that that is why if you try to do something only for EB1A, it will remain very shallow. Your work will remain very shallow. I mean, I think it's for the betterment. If you are wanting, that is why this is an extraordinary. It is called extraordinary ability green card. I always like to also say that take this as an extraordinary opportunity to become the best version of yourself. So, there are a lot of elements that we can keep on talking about this leadership in the field of business administration when you specifically talk about. So, what has been the, kind of a new theory or a new concept that you have applied? Okay, I mean, just to give you an illustration, you may do even something in your organization, but that becomes a model for others to adopt. If you do things like this, that will be something which will be very good actually. So I think it's about there are criteria which are mentioned. Those that this is the best way. First time probably I'm saying that you don't. Obviously, I've been saying that you don't try to fit into the criteria. You look at the criteria as a lens to look at your work. Now, this is the question, which is a very good question for me to respond to by saying that use the criteria to leverage to understand what you need to do, like writing papers, coming in the media, writing publications, reviewing papers, judging, earn some awards because of your work. That's the best way I would like to say. Use criteria only as a lens, actually, that if your work is being looked upon, how to do this. So, this is the best way I would like to say that. It's not related only to business administration. Then one would get into very specific what kind of problem you have solved in your field. You see, who is an expert? Let's understand. When you say you are an expert, it doesn't mean you can talk about something. Expert means you can solve a problem. Why do you go to an expert? You don't go to an expert to discuss knowledge. You go doctor. You say that a doctor is a super specialty expertise. Neuroscience, child neuroscience, or sort of pediatric heart surgeon. I mean, those are super specialties in medicine. What does it mean? Does it mean that he can discuss about pediatric neuroscience or pediatric cardiology? It means that the person can solve a problem. So when you say that you are a expert in something, what problem can you solve and what have you solved? So solve that problem, which becomes universal. That's the best way to look at yourself. Okay, so let's move to the next question, please.
Okay, so for the next question, how can I align my professional story so it appears cohesive to USIS officers, even if my career path has varied? I have worked as a data analyst for the past 6 years, but I have worked in several other professions before this, all in the tech field.
Wonderful. I mean, what you're talking about is establishing your own expertise. I mean, that's the whole question. In fact, I would like to give a similar analogy, my own profile actually. In my case, for example, I had a very diverse profile. I started off working selling mutual funds, then I became a director of Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies. Then after that, I became, head of HR. Then I became a CEO for Financial Planning Standards Board. That's the way kind of I had these four different fields, different relations, nothing to connect with each other. When I was trying to identify my expertise, you don't do I've done MBA in marketing from that perspective. How do you connect everything what you have done so far into a very coherent objective? One way is that please understand that it has nothing to do with your profession. It has nothing to do with your qualifications. For that matter, it has nothing to do with your job description also. So please remember that your expertise is essentially, I mean, normally we take people who have at least 5 years of experience in the program. We always like to see that what has produced that impact. For example, again, coming back to my own story, I told you about my experience, and when I spoke to a lot of lawyers and other legal acumen, actually, in that case, everybody said that, oh, you are financial planner, you are an investment expert. But that was not, I don't think that defined me as a person. So what defined me as a person was something much deeper here. And finally, when I went for my expertise, it was financial education. Because it was a financial educator who was a CEO of a company. It was a financial educator who remained as a head of HR. It was financial educator who was a director of Symbiosis. And I used to kind of, teach also a little bit about finance. And it was a financial educator who was selling mutual funds. So what is the core in you that is defining you? That's the purpose actually. So if you are able to do that, so now your professional story has to connect your expertise to every impact that you have created. That's the first and the foremost thing. So career path, you are looking at it from the lens of a professional career. USCIS is not there to hire you based on your work that you have produced. There are 2 million people, and I always tell people that imagine that there are 2 million right now. You understand that there are 2 million people waiting for their green card, and you are talking to President Trump and saying that, look, I'm Syria, I'm Princess, I'm Mario. This is my expertise and this is what I can do. US will benefit out of me and I will on a continuous and prospective basis. How do you say this? You cannot say that, Mr. President, I am Mario, I am Princess, I am Syria. I fulfill these three criteria, so give me a green card, even though there are 2 million people waiting for it actually. That is not going to resonate. Here you have to be truly extraordinary in your own right, become the best version of yourself where you are creating an impact for the world and for the people around you. That's the best way. So this is the way how story has to be enhanced. So let's take the last question for the day today. Yeah. Yes, Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last question is from an anonymous user. They said, what are the realistic timelines for gathering evidence for each EB1A criterion, and how should I schedule this process? I have about 2 years left before my H1B ends, and my 2 children are aging out. I don't know where to start. Could this program help in this process?
Definitely. I mean, we have helped people, who are 26 and 27-year-olds and people who are 50 plus year age also actually. It all depends on what has been your and what intensity you put in. It's about you gathering the evidence. You see, I always tell people that it's like you want to go from point A to point B. Neither you know how to drive right now, neither you know the way, and neither you have a vehicle. So this program can teach you how to drive, lend you a vehicle, and put you on a driving seat. Okay, and serve as your GPS. Please understand. You go to a driving school because you are unable to drive. That's the way it is. This program is. We will give you a perfect way, and you have to. If you listen to the GPS, cannot gather evidences for you. GPS cannot take you to the destination. It can show you the destination. So, and later on, you have to be on the steering wheel for yourself. We have seen people who have gotten EB1A within 6 months by doing certain work, and there are people who have taken little longer, especially the younger ones around 30 years of age. They have taken around 15 to 18 months. And the sweet spot for it looks like that you have more than 10 to 15 years of experience. It has taken around, sweet spot has been 8 to 12 months. So that's the way it is all about gathering evidences actually and putting it in right perspective. Remember that there are 3 dimensions of success for your EB1A. First is your expertise. I mean, you have to be an expert. If not, you have to learn to become an expert. We cannot teach you your expertise, but we can tell you how to present it and how to become an expert. So that's the first pillar. The second is you have to learn about EB1A. More you know about it, the law, why 10 criteria, what is it, then better it is for you. And the third one is how to learn how to present yourself, how to draft recommendation letters, how to draft expert opinion letters. If you learn that, that is also good for you. So you will learn all the 3 things in the program, and faster you learn to apply, you apply to yourself, you will get closer. So, I mean, I think your question is about 2 years. If you are able to put in your best version of yourself and put in the efforts, the intensity, I think, and commitment to the process. Remember one thing that, guys, I mean, we cannot help people to become EB1A. We can only help you to commit yourself to the process of becoming EB1A. And that's the job of a good coaching program, and that's what we do, and we are good at actually. And also, additionally, if you want to help, you want us to help you for your law firm. As a law firm, we can help you to file your petition. We are also an Arizona Supreme Court approved, integrated coaching and legal services, but those 2 are different divisions altogether. So we can help you both. So that was wonderful, friends, and to have you amongst us. And if you have more questions, you want to reach out to us, you want to kind of have join the Next League program for your EB1A green card, please reach out to Syria, Princess, or Mario, or I. We'll be more than happy to reach out to us, and have a wonderful day, friends. And thank you. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions or need personalized guidance, please reach out to us. We are here to help you every step of the way in your journey towards achieving your American dream. Let's connect and make it happen together.